Young Life is just a place where you can just be yourself, and it's just controlled chaos. It's about the funnest thing that you could do on a Monday night.
Young Life Club is a bunch of high school students just getting together with Young Life leaders who are looking to invest in their lives. And it looks like music blaring, high school students running around, talking with their friends, talking with leaders, playing a bunch of games, dancing as crazy as they can, and then all sitting down and collectively listening to a story that shares a part of the gospel.
Young Life is the most fun, chaotic way to get the greatest snapshot of Jesus in the most authentic way possible.
I think contact work is, it's the work you put in for the end goal. You hang out with kids, whether that is going to high schools and going to lunches, or if it's going to football games, or even if it's hanging out with them and going to breakfast. I think it's really just a time where we prepare them for what we're going to tell them.
Contact work is just hanging out with your kids. I got to take my girls over the summer after we got back from camp to my house, and we just had a movie night, and at the end of the movie night we drove around, we got Dairy Queen, we just hung out, and I was able to just, in that moment of like 10 to 15 minutes throw into their house, I was able to say, hey, what's going on? Or, you know, what has God taught you through this experience?
I would say Campaigners is my favorite aspect of Young Life because it's the time where we get to get in the Word with high schoolers.
So we have a short little time where we hang out, just kind of review what's been going on in their week. They get to share some highs and they get to share some lows, and then we get to dive into scripture and we get to talk about what's really going on in their lives and how we can support and how we can pray for them.
Me and my guys love going on a Wednesday night and getting together and playing basketball. Usually we'd have dinner first and just get to talk about the week and what's good, what's bad, and then hop into the Word for a little while and get to see their perspective on things that sometimes I don't even know that they're thinking about.
Walking into a Young Life camp was just this experience that I had never felt before. It was so fun, and like people were just running around, screaming, having fun, jumping into the lake. And then I looked over my girls and they're just all looking around like we are at a 5-star hotel. Like this place is amazing. Like the grass is green, it's cut perfectly, everything's just perfect. And being able to be there with my kids was great because we were able to talk and have conversations on the side of the water or looking over into the mountains, and that just allowed for great conversations and just great fun.
What's sweet about Young Life Camp is we get to take them away and we get to go up to this beautiful mountain range and we just get to spend time with them. And they're away from their phones, they're away from any pressures they feel, they're away from schoolwork. And what's sweet about that is they get to be who the Lord has designed and called them to be.
At camp, I got to talk to one of my guys in a one-on-one setting where I never thought that he would ever open up to me about anything, but when he did, I was blown away because there was so much there that I didn't know.
At Young Life Camp, we were able to have one-on-ones, and one of the girls that I was able to talk with, I was able to really just speak with her and just relate to what she was going through because I had gone through the same things that she is and has been going through during her high school career.
One of my girls was telling me about just how she's struggling at home, she's struggling in school, etc. And what was sweet was that conversation didn't end at Young Life Camp. We were able to take that conversation and come back home. And it was just sweet for her to be able to have that experience and kind of see in her eyes like the love of Jesus click for her.
Our group of Young Life leaders are crazy, but in the best way. We love hanging out and talking about God and honestly just being in community with each other. It's some of the best times I've had in my life, and I'm thankful that I get to do life with them every day. And honestly, I just don't think anyone has any more fun than we do spreading the gospel.
One thing God's taught me through Young Life definitely is what community looks like. And coming to college, He showed me what it looks like to actually live with a community of believers, people that are desperately pursuing the Lord. And so I got to experience that through Young Life.
The reason why I became a Young Life leader is because I had a Young Life leader in high school. Her name was Amy Spillers, and she just made me feel so comfortable around her, and she just loved me well. But the one thing that she did that I try to do every day when I'm with my girls, and she spoke so well of Jesus, and she just made him feel like he was in the room right beside me, and she was a friend of him. And that's what I want to do with my girls.
In high school, I was extremely stubborn when it came to Young Life and just God and Jesus in general. I was constantly on the edge of in or out, but a leader found me and he just would not let me go. He came to my events, he came to lunch with me, and then when I graduated, when I thought he would let me go, he didn't. He called me up and he was like, I want you to be a leader. I want you to do this with me. And honestly, I didn't want to do it because I was stubborn and I just didn't think that anyone would want me or want me to lead anyone. But he wanted me and he chose me the same way that Jesus chose me. And choosing Young Life was the best decision I ever made.
Young Life matters because we get to live life with high schoolers. I mean, we get to not only tell them daily what the gospel is, we also get to live life with them and show them what it's like, to show them, hey, this is what it's like to live life with Jesus.
Young Life is, the slogan is, you're made for this. It's something that brings you alive, it's controlled chaos, but at the end of the night, you learn a little bit more about Jesus, and it just makes you feel like you're home.
Ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells, ring the bells. Move your feet, you tiny people. You've been hiding for so long behind your statues and your steeples. Does that hit too close to home?